Waited until the actual day of the event to drop this episode. Well, triple lifetime, folks. Yeah, we've been busy. Yeah, we've been like very busy and still completely exhausted me all this week. And I'm hoping next week just to get back on top and just, you know, do what I said I was going to do since we got back. Yeah, just hopefully. Yeah, so obviously we've got a lot of news to catch up on, and we're going to be doing that over the next couple of shows, along with the remainder of our post-trip content. We've just got about 4 more to do of that, and then we can get back up to business as usual. Plus, we're also going to be busy with Dreamland. Got season 2 to do. We've also got a lot of Olympic hockey show stuff still to do. It's going to be very, very busy between now and the next couple of months, so just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single moment. Right, this piece of news is massive, and it dropped when we were in Dublin. Yes, we were at our gates. Yeah. We were at our gates, and this news dropped. And of course, we've been up since 2 a.m. Yeah, because obviously we watched the Torrent and Fleet game. Fleet Actor. Was it Fleet Actor? Oh, God. See? There you go. There you go. A lot has happened. We're forgetting who was the home and who was the road team. There you go. There you go. So remind the boys that it was the Fleet at the Torrent. There we go. I know Boston lost the game. I remember that. Yeah, it's quite some fashion. Quite some fashion. But yeah. So yeah, but it's dropped when we were in Dublin. We had that massive fire. It was not massive. You're making this out to be a lot more worse than it was. It was okay. It was absolutely fine. The layoff in the stoppage time in Dublin was actually fine. I actually handled that quite well. I mean, especially because it was our first time being in Dublin's airport, it was absolutely fine. So I think that 5 hours was plenty of time. So I don't know what he's moaning about still. Okay. We only just had enough time coming back. So I think coming back from there after we had about 2 hours something in Dublin. So I think we only just managed that. Yeah. It was pushing it a bit. Right, I'm just trying to find the article. Yes, I should have done it before we got on the show, but I am still, as you can tell, whacked. So you got to bear with me here, guys. I'm hoping by next week it will have cleared, or if it's not cleared, I'll be probably back to 90%. And then the week after that will probably be 20. So hopefully by April I'll be back to 100% fully. After Easter I should be back to pre-jet lag self. But we'll see. Right, here it is. So, Ali and Scripps Sports partner up with the PWHL to deliver first ever nationally televised game in the US. This is exciting. So IOM to telecast New York Sirens vs Montreal Victoire game Saturday, March 28th, that's today, at 1 p.m. Eastern, live from Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. Ali is presenting sponsor of both the historic broadcast and the Takeover Tour game itself. So Ali Financial and Scripps Sports are teaming up with the PHL to broadcast its first ever game on national linear television in the United States. The PHL Takeover Tour game between New York Sirens and the Montreal Victoire will air on ION, the EW Scripps Company's national sports and entertainment network, Saturday, March 28th at 1 p.m. Eastern, live from Little Caesar Arena in Detroit. Through ION, which is available free over the air via pay TV, connected TV, and free ad-supported streaming platforms, the game will be accessible to more than 126 million US households, representing a landmark moment in the league's development and a significant opportunity for new fans to discover the league. First ever national broadcast comes at a time of unprecedented momentum for the PWHL. Now in its third season, the league is approaching 2 million all-time fans and seeing a 20% year-over-year increase in average attendance. That momentum is further fueled by the Olympic Winter Games in Court Year 2026, where 61 PWHL players competed and returned with 41 medals, including TSA's dramatic overtime gold medal victory over Canada. As the league expands its reach through major events like the 16-game Takeover Tour and additional broadcast opportunities in 25-26, PWHL continues to drive unprecedented growth in women's hockey. Ali is the presenting sponsor of both the historic telecast and the Takeover Tour game itself. The company has established a track record of game-changing investments in women's sports, delivering on its unprecedented 50-50 media equality pledge and intentionally expanding its sponsorship portfolio. Highlights include moving the NWSL Championship game to primetime broadcast for the first time in 2022, launching the Ali Tip-Off, which is a premier early season women's college basketball event. That was in 2023. Elevating the purse for the US Women's Open to the highest ever for women's golf. That was in 2024. And finally, committing early as the first founding partner of Unrivaled, the professional women's 3-on-3 basketball league, which began play at last year, 2025. Not to be confused with the upcoming 7 Peter Rabbit book, George. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is definitely coming out next year now. Yeah. It's coming out next year. Yeah. So I got that pre-order. I got the 7th book pre-ordered before we went away, and I think it was not before we went away. I got an email from Amazon saying your estimated delivery date is updated, and since we got back up checked, yeah, the book is now coming out next year, not end of this year as we all thought. We will be doing Game Changers content very, very soon on this show. We'll do that very, very soon. Yeah. So being the first broadcaster to bring the PWHL to a national audience is the latest addition to the commitment of Scripps Sports and its national broadcast network. ION in 2023, Scripps Sport made a promise to make it easier to be a women's sports fan in America. Since that time, Scripps Sports was the first to create dedicated franchise rights for both the Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA, who have just recently got a new CBA sorted. Thank God for that. Yeah, thank God for that. And the National Women's Soccer League, which is the NWSL. To present weekly national double headers for the WNBA on Friday nights and the NWSL on Saturday nights. To launch dedicated studio shows supporting both leagues. Currently, ION broadcasts more WNBA games and more NWSL matches than any other national broadcaster, along with APOS 2026 and the Major League Volleyball Championships this coming May. I remind you again, ION is available via pay TV, connected TV, and free ad-supported streaming platforms and free over-the-air. For more information on how to watch ION, visit iontelevision.com. Right, so what do we make of this exciting event? I'm going to let you two take the floor. because you know how my feelings are about national broadcast games. We know my feelings, so you two can take the floor. Why this game? Why this game? That it just feels a bit random, you know, to pick of all the Takeover Tour games. The viewers are going to be thinking they're just so because it wasn't one that we attended. No, we're not saying that. No. No. That's what some viewers will think that. I know, but no. Let her make her point. She's about to make her point. Yeah. It just feels of all the Takeover Tour games, why this one? When, you know, you could have maybe gone for one of the two neutral site games coming up in three. Yep. So I nearly forgot all of it. This is what happens when you go away to see the league you love in person and you don't get to do anything for your show for 2 full weeks. It's been too much information flown our way in the run up to it. Yeah, and now it's like, oh god. Yeah, we've got 3 neutral site games coming up in April, 1 in Canada, 2 in America. Why not maybe choose one of those? Like the MSG one. Yeah, because that is supposed to be breaking the attendance record that Seattle set not long after Milano. Yeah. So why not go for that one? Yep. You know, I would have thought, yeah. Plus, the locals, they're going to think, oh look, they're broadcasting our game on national telly. Does that mean we've got a better chance of getting an expansion team? No. Is the answer. I would say that. Yeah, because some people have started thinking, oh, could that be the perfect opportunity to announce an expansion team? No. Everyone knows the way you announce expansion teams, you get to have a nice shiny press conference in some posh building. And have the councilmen come out and show what a complete bunch of misogynists they are. What happened in Vancouver last year, that is still fresh in my mind. That was like just brilliant. How to kick someone in the balls without actually doing it. You could learn a thing or two from Tessa, George. I know. So you know George has not got any self-control. Especially when it comes to men being duckheads. Thank you, lady. Thank you. Yeah, but I have seen since this and now, people say, oh, could it be the perfect time to expansion? No. We could maybe say later today get an expansion timeline, because we're all anticipating that after the Takeover Tour concludes on April the 7th in Edmonton. That's Fleet at Garnice. We're all expecting not long after that to be when we maybe get information on when we might expect an expansion announcement to be made. Because I think we all do believe expansion is definitely going to happen again this season. The question is it by 2 or by 4? And then after that, where are we going? Those are the 2 big questions as of right now. But I don't think having a national broadcast game would be the perfect way to announce an expansion team. Unless they got all 4 markets locked in. That'd be the only thing. But then again, as you said last year, George, it would be best to wait till after the tour to give respect to all the markets who had a go. Mm-hmm. And obviously, if you announce expansion teams today, then Calgary hasn't gone yet. Mm. That's a bit of disrespect to Calgary. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I do still stand by that. Yeah, especially if Calgary doesn't get in, they're gonna think, what's the point of this game in the first place? Yeah, we should have said no. Yeah, but anyway, especially how Edmonton seems to be the preferred darling of Alberta, since they've been given 3 at the last 2 seasons, and anti-rivalry series games. Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna get expansion news later on today. I do believe that we might get an expansion timeline of what we might expect to get news, but don't be surprised if we just get nothing. Ideally, I'd like either Jay Hefford or Amy Shear to come on, do one of his missions, do a long interview, and somebody bring up what's the latest on expansion. Yeah, and that could be the way to answer it. Yeah. They probably wouldn't answer it the way we want to answer it. They probably would go politician's answer on us, yeah. But at least somebody brought the topic up, yeah. And it is still a very live wire discussion. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're all prepared for what's going to be another really, really intense summer where everyone's going to be like last year. They're going to literally hate what happened in the draft, start packing, then we have to come back on and be like, well, everyone, calm down! Please! Too much noise! For a minute there, I thought she was going to quote the entire monologue by Madame de Pompadour in The Girl in the Fireplace, and then he did. Well, I can't do it. We are French! Because I know Frenchmen on here. Yeah, you are. It did, but you can't think, hold on! Are you about to go on Madame de Pompadour on us there? Oh, God, that was not my favourite day of the summer long. No, it wasn't! Because originally, that episode was supposed to be us telling you what we thought about the expansion draft and the whole process as a whole. Instead, we basically just told everyone to just take a chill pill. You need one. Yeah, but no, I don't think expansion will get announced today, but we can maybe get a timeline. But I do really like it. It does feel a bit weird of all the Takeover Tour games. Why pick Detroit when of the markets that have been given Takeover Tour games, I can't see Detroit being right now a dead cert for expansion. Yes, we know Detroit is passionate for women's hockey, and clearly women's hockey wants to have a bite at Detroit because the PHL's gone to Detroit every single season. I mean, how many games Detroit have now? Is it 4? One in year 1, one in year 2. Yeah, 4 in 3 seasons. So, clearly, there is league interest to go to Detroit, but as we know, Detroit has not got the infrastructure. The one thing you need right now to get a PHL team is infrastructure. Now, I don't know Detroit. I don't know Michigan State as a whole, but maybe there could be other arenas in the state of Michigan that could potentially house a PHL team, and maybe that's where you go, and you call it just a Michigan team rather than Detroit. And then maybe you do what the Big 12 Sets have done, which is you try and get at least one neutral site game at the AHL venue a year. Yeah, and that could be how you then keep the connection with Detroit. Yeah. So I wouldn't be don't be surprised if Michigan does get a team. It's called the Michigan rather than Detroit . Like how obviously Utah, you can't call the Mammoth the Salt Lake Mammoth. You have to call it the Utah Mammoth. Yeah, it's actually a state law. It's actually a state law. Yeah. That's a big example. Yeah, and also how obviously Minnesota is the Minnesota. Yeah, because Minnesota's the state. There's also these various cities in Minnesota. Yeah. But that's a state's T. That's different. Yeah. What do you make? What? I think it's really good for the league. I mean, a national tally deal is probably the next step. It is probably the next step to go in obviously growing this league, because we can't just rely on ticket sales and merchandise sales forever. Well, especially as how merchandise sales, they still haven't branched out to the Europeans. 3 seasons now, we're still waiting for that international shop, Amy and Jaina. Anyway, yeah, so we are going to need a national tally deal at some point, and maybe this is the right way to go. If this partnership could work well, then I wouldn't be surprised if, say, the run-up to season 4, it gets announced that, oh, we've signed a deal to give them, say, just give any number. 20? 25? What? Of potentially the 120 game season? Could be more. Or, what would you go? I'd offer I would offer 30 as a trial period. I'd go 30. for the first season, if we were to go for a national telly deal next year, I would say give them between 30 to 40 of all the games that could be on offer, as like a trial run. If that works, then you then up it to maybe say 40-50, to reach the 40-50. So obviously these deals, as we know, can be renegotiated at any time. And the NHL is already looking at renegotiating its deals with ESPN. Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh no! Yep, so that's before we went away. Oh no! Who's got Stanley Cup far this year? I think it's ESPN. Oh fuck! Not that you'll care. No. Oh no! This season I am watching Wild Playoff games. Yes, I have watched. Yeah, this season I am watching just Wild Playoff games. This year. I would have did it last year, but if I wasn't so pissed off with what the AHL did in scheduling playoff games while the PHL season was still going on. Yeah, but I don't think for us it'll be a problem because I think we have our last regular season home game before Northeast playoffs begin. It just so happens what happens if we then get playoffs. Yeah. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yes, I would maybe offer a trial basis, and then you then review it based on that skill on a year-on-year basis. Do you feel we're getting close to that now? Well, I think, while I don't think any of us three feel that there's been a massive Olympic boost, I think what the Olympics have done is it's made the PHL realise, okay, the interest is there. It's really, really there. We now need to start doing the things we haven't done yet to then basically build on that momentum. And a national teddy deal is one of them. My only worry is how is Scripps? How is Ion going to present it? We know what ESPN's like. It's a clown show. Shitfest. Clusterfuck. Whatever swear words you want to call it. I hate watching Sharks games, Wild games on ESPN. I hate it. I try to avoid where possible. I hate it because the commentary team and even the in-studio team, they basically just behave like schoolboys in a playground. Now, yes, that is what the AHL is, but I don't want it literally shoved down my throat for 3 long hours. Especially given time difference between the UK and the West Coast of America. Alright? TNT's fine. TNT's fine, but the Sharks of the World don't get featured on TNT that much. Nah. So TNT, I could just about handle it. So yeah, but most of the time it's just like no, seriously, go away. Like seriously, just go away. Yeah. I can't handle it. Yeah. I can't. So I try to avoid where possible, and but no, just yeah. So yeah, I do. It'd be interesting to watch this later on today. Have we got our normal broadcasting team, or have we got to have Scripps broadcasting team instead? Yeah, that's the only concern. Yeah, that is the only concern. Yeah, and that would be a problem I would have if we were to then get a national telly deal, because you would then be taking away jobs from what is already an outstanding broadcasting team. I have no complaints with any of our broadcasting team of the PHL. They are all outstanding. They know what they're doing. You can clearly see they mean well. And they are passionate about the game. I don't have a problem with any of them, which is good, because in this league, you do not have a set broadcasting team for each team. So like how the AHL, you would have a set 2 commentators for your team's games. You don't have to the PHL. You basically get to a rotating roster. Yeah, and it all depends on who's going to be on the card for that night. Yeah, so I don't have a bad way to say about any other broadcasting. So that's the other thing I'm about is if we have to do a national broadcast, are we going to lose our PHL broadcasters for Scripps broadcasters who may not be aware of what they're doing? Yeah. So I think later on today that'll be very key to keep an eye on. Yeah, is who's the broadcasting team? Is it ours? Is it our in-house team, or is it Scripps team? Yeah. And that's going to be the big question. Yeah, that's going to be the big question. Yeah. No. But I still don't get why they picked this game. Why is it this game when chances are it would be better to have gone for the MSG game happening over Easter or the TD Garden game the week after. Yeah, the week after. Where it's our Pride night. April 11 is our Pride night. We'll be hosting the Sirens. Yeah, both those Neutral Site games, these upcoming Saturdays, we have got a game beforehand, but it's quite early, so it means that we can then watch the Neutral Site game straight afterwards. Yeah, yep. So, we'll carry on. Yeah. It just feels a bit random of all the Takeover Tour games you could have gone with. You go for that one. And plus, let's not forget, Detroit had a dip in attendance when they last hosted Takeover Tour. Yeah, they did. The game that happened in, was it beginning of January? Yeah, beginning of January. That saw a dip because it was the Golden Eyes and Fleet. It was the Golden Eyes' first road win, so far only road win. Neither the Turret or the Golden Eyes have yet to get a legitimate road win. What I mean by that is winning in someone's private venue. Yeah. The only wins they've had on the road have been on Takeover Tour games. Yeah. And there isn't actually that many games left. I mean, each they've got about 8 games left now. Yeah. So there isn't that much time left. You want to try and get some more road wins. Seattle and Vancouver. Yeah. So make do with that. Yeah, it feels like a bit random. Plus, it's gonna help. Plus, it's gonna make Detroit people feel that they could be trying to take up with a expansion team because they're gonna be on national telly. That's not how it works. No, not how it works. And yet, Detroit, we know how badly you want a team, but you haven't got the infrastructure. If you've got the infrastructure, then maybe I'd say lock in Denver and Detroit. But right now, I can only say lock in Denver because I know Denver does have other arenas that could work if Ball Arena was not practical for all year round. And we've been there in person. We've seen the passion that Denver has for this league. So we know Denver's going to work. It's just get your ducks in a row. Just do that. Just get it sorted. So I do think Denver could be a great addition to the league, and I'm gonna keep saying that till they get in. And we need more geographical rivals. Is Detroit close to Minnesota? I don't know. Sure. So obviously the Red Wings did used to be in the Western Conference. This just shows my age when I can recall the days when I had to be when us three had to be in the exact same conference and Detroit, and you had a lot of playoff statistics. Yeah, 2010 and also 2011. Yeah, and they were bad run series. They got nasty. They got nasty. I mean, I would not want the Red Wings to meet my Sharks in a Stanley Cup final because it would just get nasty. So, yeah. Not too far actually. A direct flight between Detroit Metropolitan Airport and where we were, Minneapolis St. Paul International. That covers about 528 miles, and it's roughly an hour and 45 minutes. It's not too far. Just why are we not in the same time zones? Are we not? No. Well, what time zone is Detroit in? I think it's the eastern one. Hold on. So, no, you've been banging about geographical rivals, but you trying to boost Winnipeg. Yeah, the eastern time zone. Detroit is in the Eastern time zone. I know, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. That's interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting gate broadcast today. Given how it's the first time national telly. It is interesting to see afterwards what the numbers are. Like, how many people did watch, how many people tuned in, how many people would then be repeat watchers if this happened again. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on those numbers afterwards, and we might come back up and we'll see. Depends on what happens later today. Because this episode's going to go out just a few hours before the game time. That's the way it has to work, I'm afraid, because obviously we've been busy. Very, very busy. With poster content, still got a fair thing like that to do. So I think we pretty much covered all our bases, haven't we? Is there anything else you guys want to add? I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the broadcast. I just pray it goes well. I just pray it goes well. Let's play it. Yeah, okay. So it's a reminder that York Sirens at Montreal Victoire stopped number 13? 14? I'm so confused now. 14. 14! Stop! Thank you. Stop number 14. There's also been far too many Takeover Tour games since we've come back as well. So I've now lost track of the numbers. It's stop 14. Thank you. So yeah, so reminder, York Sirens at Montreal Victoire. Stop 14 of the Takeover Tour. Little Caesars Arena, Detroit, Michigan. It's 1 PM Eastern, 5 PM here in the UK. Let's wish Ion the best of luck in hosting the PWHL for the very first time, and hopefully it all goes well and this can be the start of a brand new happy relationship. So we're going to go get ready for that game, and until next time, take care guys.